And we are going to get started now. And welcome. I'm Kerry Welding. And some might call me an art guru. I've been an interior designer and builder for 20 years. I've been studying how energy moves in and around the body and how shapes, colors, other vibrational techniques affect you. How does energy around you? How does a circular table versus a square table affect you? It makes a big difference. So we're going to talk about color today, which is in chapter 3 of my new book. And by the way, I've got an exciting announcement to give you, but let's get started with the presentation right now. And there's a lot of good information. I've got my Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering. I've been featured on HGTV on nearly every major network. I created and hosted, produced a reality TV show, Sacred Spaces. And after it aired, it won 3 accolade awards. I speak, I'm an author and a writer, TV producer. I'm coming out with some more TV projects. I filmed one in February. We're going to be pitching the networks. My website is myharmonizedhome.com, and also soon, thepoweroftattoos.com. There's a beautiful quote by Florence Nightingale. I didn't realize she was a major English social reformer in the day and a statistician. She wasn't just a nurse, and she founded modern nursing. So many of you nurses might know this. She said, and this is the beginning quote of the chapter on color in my tattoo book, The Power of Tattoos, the object and color in the materials around us actually have a physical effect on us, on how we feel. And in fact, they used to paint, I don't know if they still do this now, but they used to paint the hospital rooms yellow to help heal the soldiers. So she knew a lot about the power of color and how this affects everyone. My first book I wrote eons ago when I was in my late 20s while working for General Electric. And I worked for 2 different divisions, and there I ran marketing and advertising for one of their $1 billion plus divisions in their motors. This discusses the energy in the workplace. I love talking about energy because I study it. I've been studying it for about 30 years. I published it finally in print after getting a number of phone calls from HR directors because I just published it on a website with each chapter you could flip through. And so that was kind of fun. And now it's available on Amazon. And I'm excited that I just uploaded my manuscript for The Power of Tattoos. I've been working on this book for 6 years, interviewing people and studying the science of art very carefully. I wanted to make sure that my theory about tattoos, where we're going into vibrational connection with them, was in fact true. That if we are around an image, and the longer we're around it, the greater the likelihood that we will become that energy, and we will absorb it, and then we will radiate it, because everything is radiating energy and information. So this book covers the law of resonance that I talk about, which is really why art can be used to activate the law of attraction in a very positive way, and a powerful way. So that is going to be released probably this week, available in paperback worldwide, and then I'm going to launch the ebook within a week of that. Are you interested in how tattoos and art affect you? Because this book is not just about tattoos, it's about art, it's about healing, it's about transformation. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff now, hundreds of items and little videos about tattoos and the studies and the stories and that kind of thing. I introduced dozens of people. Your art creates your future. This is one of my favorite quotes. It's the basis for the book. And I like this piece, this quote from Oscar Wilde. He says, paradoxically, though it may seem, it is nonetheless true that that life imitates art far more than art imitates life. Doesn't look like he knows he's talking about. He's got that cigarette going. He probably has a cocktail on the other hand. And boy, do I have something really wonderful to say to you. And he was rather profound in some of his writings. And this is one of that he's amazingly accurate in. Your home is not just an expression of you. Your home is creating your future. And I would add that your art reflects who you are. Most of our art is about our past. It's about our past story. But I will tell you right now that your art is creating your future. I've done a number of art workshops around the country, especially in the Midwest. And of course, I'm doing them now virtually here. And I'll be doing more of them. But your art is also creating your future. So your art, as I talk about in the book, is a tool for literally attracting the energies and the situations that you want to bring into your life in a powerful way. The colors you put on your body reflect who you are, and they also create your future. I want you to think about that first part as we go in there, because your art, your words that you speak, reflects who you are. Your art reflects your story of your past. Unless you use it as a tool to create a powerful future, then it's different. How many have done a vision board? Hi, Cheryl. We have others that are on here that are watching from Facebook Live on my regular Facebook page. So if you want to interact, go to the Power of Tattoos Facebook page, and you'll be able to ask questions and interact and all that kind of thing. So if you have taken a vision board class, I did one in Chicago when I was there. I moved from Chicago to Los Angeles area about 3 years ago, almost to the day. And I took a vision board class, and then I wasn't really attuned to how powerful art is to create it. But what I want to say is that your vision board is much larger than what we would imagine. Your vision board is your whole home. It's your clothing, your tattoos, the art on your walls, the colors, the patterns, the logos, the shapes of art and furniture that are around you. A circular table will help ground you and make you more prosperous, I believe. I'm going to show you why later in this session. And we're going to talk more about that in the shapes chapter when I do that session. The literature you read, very important, because literature is distributed. And it starts connecting to the collective unconscious. And then media, games. Hi, Lisa. I'm glad you've come to join too. And of course, our words, the words we say, the words we do that. And if you haven't gotten a chance to see Dr. Masaru Emoto's work, Messages in Water and all that kind of a thing, I got to meet him. I have a photograph with him, and when I saw him in Florida speak. I'm going to share with you what I believe is the secret to creative positive changes more easily. There are a lot of ways to create positive changes in your life, but I'm going to share with you what I believe is the easiest one. And I'm excited to introduce you to this concept that when you change the art in your home and your workplace, and I've got stories galore in there, not just about tattooed clients, but about my clients who have used art to attract a relationship and a change in the relationship, you will change your life. Guaranteed, or your money back. So this is a way to engage what I call the law of resonance to work for you. Like attracts like. And when you have an energy field, which is what the great masters said, around you, like if you put an art piece that has calm energy, and it definitely does radiate, and you can check for it with dowsing, you're going to go into resonance with it. A calm beach, for example. But if you have a basketball player shooting hoops and you put it in your bedroom, you're going to attract motion in a room that's supposed to be meant for sleep. Yeah. Nikola Tesla said this: everything radiates energy and information, as what I say. And he said that if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Carrie Weldy says, if you want to know the secrets of your tattoos and how they affect you, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. What is the energy in your art saying about you, but also how is it creating your future? So this is very interesting. We've got a lot of labeling of colors that are associated with emotions. You know, seeing red, somebody's green with envy, somebody's feeling the blues, the blacklist, blackout, black market, black belt, black cat, and black death, and so forth and so on. But the question is, do colors nearby, near us, around us, affect us physically too? Not just our emotions. And the answer is yes. Red, in pranic feng shui, for thousands of years, people have known that, the clairvoyants have at least, and the pranic feng shui masters have known that the red prana from the north, associated with north energy. That's why it's good when you're in business or even when you're on a date, try to face north. East is second best. So that's a little giveaway that's not in these slides. And I talked about it in my harmonized home segments. I did a whole a whole segment on that. In one study, red light elevates the heart rate and blue lowers it. So blue has a calming energy, especially different shades of blue. In another study, it significantly raised the heart rate and reading scores in students. It's an expansive energy. Red prana, red chi. Red light therapy is used in spas to rejuvenate the skin, to regenerate collagen, just from one frequency of color. And again, I say that the pranic feng shui masters have known this for thousands of years. I studied it under Master Ko. I think he's one of the best. He's here in Los Angeles. I've been studying with him for a number of years. In one study with the 2004 Olympics, when they compared red versus blue kits, you know, the outfit and the boxing. I'm not really into boxing. I'm not into violent sports because I don't want to bring violence in my life. But those who wore red kits were 5% more likely to win. Now, anybody that knows sports knows that you need a little bit of an edge to make a big difference. And when you get that little bit of an edge, you can do amazing things. Another study in football, soccer, they call football over there, across the pond, that goalies wearing red were more likely to block penalty shooters. In other words, they were more successful when they wore red. In a study, you want to make more money? Buy red underwear, buy red shirts, buy red shoes, buy red whatever. Wear it as much as you can. I wear it nearly every day. For those my friends who know me, and especially those out here in the LA area, waitresses who wore red in this study made 15 to 26% more in tips. I think the average is around 25%, or the median. University of Rochester, New York study said and found that women and men both wearing red were perceived as being more attractive, even when their clothes weren't seen in the photo. Yeah, being around a color gives you that magnetic quality, that mojo, that's going to land you the love of your life. At least it's going to make you a lot more attractive. A number of the studies show this. Now, there were 2 U.S. naval officers that studied prison walls that were colored pink. And this particular shade that they used was called Blanc Mange, pink, or Baker Miller. That was probably named after these 2 naval officers. They found that this particular shade of pink, when it's painted on the walls, it reduces aggression. Now, pink is related to the heart chakra. It's not green, that the Roy G. Biv. We're going to show that in a second. Clairvoyants have known this, like Master Ko teaches. It's pink with gold. That's how he sees it. I don't see color as much. Sometimes I do. I see black in disease when I work with clients. Another study, and this is really stunning, found that pink decreased muscle strength in under 5 seconds. Walking into the prison, boom, it lowered aggression. They use this in San Bernardino, about an hour and a half from me, in the youth detention center. I quote the gentleman, that one of the key management folks that runs that operation. He said, you know, we used to have to sit on these kids. Now we just put them in the pink room. We don't have to touch them. And they calm right down. The recidivism rate in one prison in, I believe it was San Antonio, Texas, it's an old prison, so they can do what they want with it. Their recidivism rate, which is the reoccurring rate for crimes, lowered by 70% when they used pink. 20% of prisons in Switzerland are with pink. It's amazing. And by the way, I'm going to say this, that one of the things that Master Ko taught us is that this is a great color. I don't know if he knows all these studies because he didn't mention any of them, but now I want to share these with him, and I want to interview him for a tattoo piece that I'm working on, a television documentary series on tattoos. But he said that if you have a daughter, for example, that is sexually aggressive, paint the walls pink in the bedroom, and that'll calm it down. He's right, according to research. So very interesting. Now I'm going to show you how colors affect the chakras in the body, because when I began studying this, I learned that the feminine energy in the body is the lower torso, Father Heaven above, versus, Father Heaven above, Mother Earth below. So Father Heaven above, this is the masculine energy. It's thought, it's motion, it's the universe. The crown chakra is related to connecting to all things possible. It connects to the collective unconscious. When you move down to color and also shapes that vibrate with your lower chakras, especially your root and your sacrum, your sacra, which rules sexuality and creativity, materialized creativity. This is inspiration, which is creativity in the spiritual world or thought. As soon as you put it into action, like, oh, I want to paint something, I got that image, and then you actually paint it, that energy moves down to the second chakra, which is its polar opposite. Interesting, huh? But when you activate red, this is why red is a seed of prosperity. This is why women study after study after study after study, and I show it, at least 4 or 5 of them, maybe 6 in my tattoo book. They're much better leaders financially, by far. Kevin O'Leary said, I make twice as much money with my female-led businesses than my male-led business, and he has a 50-50 ratio of male-led businesses and female-led. I know I'm not putting down men like me, but I will tell you that I'm a big feminist, and I think that women should be running most things according to stats. All the women in the house say yeah. Now, what I've learned also is that when I do workshops around the country, 80, 90%, maybe 90% of my attendees are female. Same thing with the body, mind, spirit. I don't know why that is. I think women are just, they're more interested in their evolution, I guess. All right. So the biggest companies use color to change your behavior. McDonald's, very smart. A significant study showed that red is arousing because it's expansive and it grabs attention first. And that yellow elevates the mood. So McDonald's was very clever. You eat fast and you're happy and you get out so that other customers can come in. Very smart. Look at Target, probably one of the biggest brand names and they use red, and red is associated with the root chakra. And guess what? I looked at the statistics and I had to add it to my book about 2 days ago. And I found, because I wondered, what's their percentage of women? They have a significantly higher percentage of women than Walmart and Dollar Store. But look at what Walmart says. They have a blue, predominantly blue, which is connected to the male energy. I guarantee you that they'll increase their sales and they'll have a higher percentage of women shopping there if they change their logo to red. Now that hexagon shape with the 6 spokes, brilliant for sacred geometry. I'm going to talk about that in another book that I'm going to be working on. I've already started writing it about the future of products and services. Okay, black, the power color, right? We hear it all the time. I used to have a ton of black, y'all. It's bold, sophisticated, it's slimming. I'm going to tell you why it's slimming. It's not the slimming you want. It's mysterious, it's commanding, but it's also the color of death. It's the power color because nearly everything in life, it is black in its natural state, and there's not much in nature that's naturally black. Black bears and lava and ashes and black ants, crows, frostbite, mold, diseased body parts, tooth decay, the list goes on and on. It's black, but most everything in the world is full of color. Black, these are destructive elements. Nearly everything that is black in its natural state. I'm talking about pure black. I'm not talking about African Americans because they're not black. They're a deep brown with that melatonin pigment. This is the color of destruction and death. Nature, however, is filled with life and color. And color is life. Until we go to that portal that's mysterious. That's why we're drawn to it, because it is powerful. But it's not the powerful thing that we want, right? We want life and positivity, not the end. We don't want to keep attracting to ourselves to this energy. Very important. Black, I'm being a chemical engineer, absorbs light, heat, and energy in general. Like, it is an energetic black hole, my friends. And after I've gotten rid of the black in my closet, after I wrote these chapters, this chapter specifically, and all the research I did, one study after another, how it depresses and all that, I just got rid of most of my black, nearly all of it. And I don't wear it much at all. I think I would wear it for a funeral, but not much else, or maybe for a formal event. I don't know. I might wear a red suit. In the Anglo-Saxon, Germanic, and Latin cultures, black in one study is associated with fear and grief. Oscar de la Renta, the big fashion mogul, he said black drains the sky of color. He's probably got his fan when he's waving around. Wasn't he the one that has his fan? I'm not sure if that was Oscar de la Renta. It might have been another one. He said pink delights the eye. Yeah, let's talk about tattoos. How does the color black affect your health? Well, with people that have, first of all, black is the #1 color of tattoos. And hi, Lindsay. It's great to see you too. I haven't seen you in a while. Suggest inked people with 3 to 4 or more tattoos have much shorter lifespans. I cite at least 2, maybe 3 studies, big studies that showed how tattooed people, and then negative tattoos are even worse. Very interesting. You have to be really careful about what art you put in your home. You have to be even more careful about what art you put on your bodies. Doesn't even that thing, when you look at that block that says study, don't you even feel like can you feel like it depresses you a little bit? I did. As soon as I put that, I'm like, oh, Lordy Jesus, hallelujah. Like I feel a little bit more depressed. And in fact, black increases the risk of depression. There are a number of studies that show this. Even gray does. So the color of black was found too in a study to elevate GABA. It produces a stress response. It provokes depression and mania. It depresses dopamine, which is the feel-good hormone, and it increases adrenaline. Now, I want you to think about this, because when you see these people with full tattoos, 3 to 4 plus tattoos, more than 3 or 4, suddenly the aggression goes up. And there's other studies that show that there's a significant link, there's a number of them, between aggression and depression. Fascinating, huh? So when I look at black, because when you go to blue and purple, which is the crown chakra, beyond there is black. It's like, and when your energy, when you die, there's a theory that says that the energy of the body goes up the cerebral spinal column and up the chakras, and then out this way. So it comes into the body and feeds this way. And then we see the growth of the human body. And I talk about Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where the root chakra energy, which is about core needs, that's from birth 1, 2, 3 years old. And then the sex organs start forming, and on and on and on. Then we open up creativity and emotions in the second chakra. And we evolve up this chakra system of the human body. And that's how we evolve physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Yeah. Fascinating, huh? And then when you make your exit, then whoop, your energy goes out the body. And this is why a lot of doctors and nurses have told me, and I've been looking for research about this too, that when somebody, that's okay, Paula, you're going to be able to watch it in full at any time you want. You can always go back to the Power of Tattoos Facebook page and watch it after we're all done. So you get to see the whole thing all over and get to see my cute face. But when people die, the toes curl under in a lot of patients, and the eyes roll up, and this is part of the exiting of the energy in the body. Okay, I got off a little track there, but I thought you might find it interesting. In a study of 52,000 NHL games in 30 years, 30 seasons of games, and we know that, in sports, you have 2 uniform colors. You have your black when you're away, and then you got your normal color. And the study was very extensive. And when they introduced white, then they looked at the same. But when teams wore their black uniform, their penalties for aggression went up, an average of 10.2%. You don't want to wear black, you all. I'm telling you. Care Bear says, don't get rid, chuck your black, keep it for funerals. Compartmentalize your energy in general, because energy, in order to be powerful, has to be contained. This is the way the cellular system works. This is a way that anything works, that you close a room if you want to keep an energy in a room. It's why you go to a concert that's, closed. You contain the energy, and then you can create power with it. Now, in the NCAA, in 80 years, the winning color was rarely black. By far, it was red. Again, this winning color. In a study of in a study of people in 5 countries, I think it was around 700 people, black is associated with fear. 2 UK university studies showed that the color gray, which is a shade of black with some white in it, is associated with anxiety and depression. Black and white art has also been shown to be depressed people. So I strongly urge you to get rid of your black if you and your black and white art. One piece probably doesn't hurt you, but if you've got a lot of it, I've been to some people and it looks like a museum where it's all black and white art. The study gray in this particular study, the color gray in this study implies a dark state of mind, a colorless and monotonous life, gloom, misery, or disinterest in life. Do you really want to bring this energy into you? Do you want to resonate with it? I don't. Give me joy. A study in Melbourne by researchers there at a brain institute found that brighter colors such as orange, yellow, and pink, now these are colors that resonate with the lower part of the body, the feminine colors, made people more excitable and upbeat. There are times, by the way, I want to make this clear, that you do want to bring in, you need masculine energy. You need masculine energy in anything you do. Otherwise, nothing happens. You can create something, which is where this feminine energy comes from. And we're going to talk about that more in other sessions, about the difference between masculine and feminine energy and how powerful you need the two to work. But we have way too much masculine energy on our planet. Our shapes are masculine. The buildings are linear and rectangular. I have a whole section in the tattoo book about when you live in a high rise, depression goes up, lifespan goes down. It's a really big problem. They have more health issues, more mental issues, higher incidence of heart attacks. It's not just because of the travel time that it takes for the EMT to get up there. Pastels in this study, they found that pastel colors like lilac and light blue and pastel blue made people feel calm and tranquil. Well, this is exactly what Master Code taught us. When you shoot out blue prana from your throat, or from your palm and your hand, or both, then you can calm a child. I've done this in restaurants. Had a crying baby next to me, and the parents were so embarrassed, and they said, "Oh, we're so sorry." They turned to me, so sorry. And here I got my date with me, which is my laptop. I had my date with me then, and I'm working on some designs for a client. And I said, no worries. And I tapped my throat chakra, and there's a technique I use. And I channeled blue prana toward that baby. And instantly, it quieted. Instantly. And the parents were really got. Darker colors evoke sadness in this study. Okay, black in a number of studies found that it decreases memory performance. I cite the studies in my book. Being an engineer, I want to make sure I'm just grounding it in science, not my personal beliefs. A lot of people do that all the time. Right? Well, if you wear this copper bracelet, it'll elevate your mood, or get rid of your arthritis. I heard. I want to know the science behind it, and I want to see the studies. That's that chemical engineering part of me that I'm grateful for, because you need to ground your reality in what's true, not what you think is true. A study by the University of British Columbia, and we're almost done, on time. Red boosted memory by as much as 31%, more than blue, a color known to boost cognitive performance. So blue boosts it, and red even outdid it by far. Wear your red, y'all. You want to land a date? Wear red. You want to make more money? Wear red. You want to win more? You want to achieve more? Wear red. The color consultant Jules Standish said that warm, bright colors such as pink or red, studies show releases dopamine, the feel good. It improves your mood, it heightens attention span, and boosts your sex drive. Studies with Instagram postings found that depressed people post grayer, bluer, and darker photos with fewer faces. I talk about social media a lot in my book because it's very important, and how the distributive quality of it really does make a big impact. You have to be very careful about what you post of yourself, your images of yourself. I mentioned this in My Harmonized Home when I was doing that segment. I think I mentioned it in the first Facebook Live on the Power of Tattoos. Be careful of what you post of yourself. A lot of people, they're like in selfie land. Every day they're posting selfies. I think this is self-absorption. They're not talking about world peace. They're talking about themselves. Lordy, hallelujah. Okay, so my next Facebook session is going to be really good because I'm going to start showing a lot of tattoos and talk about the stories that are going to blow your mind. How symbols in tattoos and art create your future. So thank you all for coming. And I had a blast. I love doing these. Even if you don't have tattoos, how can you use art to attract a job that you want? How can you use it to sleep better and those kinds of things? So thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next week. Ciao.